guys, it's Aislinn, and in today's video we are finally going to bleach my regrowth. Over a year of regrowth here, and we're finally gonna get rid of it today. I mean, I have more roots than I have blonde left. I'm ready for some like icy white platinum blonde hair. I am just ready for a change. My roots get greasy so fast and I just feel very plain and boring. I'm ready to have some really bright white nice platinum hair. So today we are going to tackle these roots. This part of my hair has also been growing out a lot. I have not done this since July at some point. I just let it grow out along with the rest and figured I'll deal with it when I do the rest of this. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm a little nervous about it. I'm just scared I'm gonna damage my hair, which I know I won't. Like, all this is super healthy and fresh, but I'm just a little bit worried about like overlapping on the ends. So we're gonna see. I just haven't done this in so long. It's been like 13 months since I bleached my roots, so I'm not very skilled at this anymore, and it's even more complicated because they're so grown out. But we're gonna try it today. So let's go over what we're using to do this. So I'm gonna be using Schwarzkopf Blonde Me, and I'm gonna be using 20 volume dedicated developer. I thought about using 30 volume, but I think it's gonna take me a while to apply the lightener, so I don't want to go in with 30. I'd honestly rather bleach it 2 times with a 20 volume than to use a 30 volume and feel like I'm rushed and stuff. I'd rather just go low and slow and let it sit and process. 30 volume just scares me a little bit. So this bleach already has bond enforcing in it, so I'm not going to be adding Olaplex into this because it already has like an Olaplex type thing in it. Let me tell you about the game plan on how I'm planning on applying this. So I know a lot of you guys are curious about how you would touch up your roots at home if they're this grown out. And ideally what I would want to do is a platinum card. If you don't know what that is, basically you take foils and you take super thin, fine sections, like thin sections that you can read through. So it would be like a section like this, where it's really thin and fine. You would put a foil underneath here, and then you would just put your whole head in really small flat foils. That way the heat stays in the foils and it processes better, it processes more evenly. But of course that is pretty much impossible for me to do on myself. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do a platinum card on myself. Like, bitch, no way, no freaking way. So I'm not gonna use foils. I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna apply the bleach on this part of my hair first. So I'm gonna avoid about 1/2 inch of my regrowth, and I'm gonna apply it all the way down to here. Once that's applied all over, and I start to see it getting lighter, I'll go back through and I'll apply it onto the roots. Obviously I'm gonna section this out and leave it alone while I do all of this out here. But it's gonna be a very challenging day. It's probably gonna take me all day to do this, but I'm ready for the challenge. I'm just ready to have different bright hair and not have roots. I have not washed my hair in probably a week. You guys can probably tell it's greasy. It looks a lot darker than it is just because it's so greasy. I wanted to let my natural oils accumulate on my scalp. So it's very greasy right now, ready for a bleach. I'm probably gonna have to move the camera because the most important thing in this process is for me to be able to see what I'm doing. I need to see the front and back of my hair really well, and right now the setup I have is just not working. It's definitely not going to allow me to see all the parts of my head. So I think I'm probably going to have to move you guys. The lighting might not be the best for you, but it's really important that I'm able to see the back of my head as well as the front of my head. So let me go ahead and mix up the lightener and move the camera, and we're going to start applying this biatch. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm going to start at the bottom of my head down here because I don't have as much breakage down here. I barely have any blonde left on these tips, so if the lightener is on this spot for longer, I feel more comfortable with it rather than lightener being applied up here first where I already have breakage and then creating even more breakage. So we're gonna start at the back, work our way up towards the front of the head. So let me section, move the camera, mix it up, and we'll start applying. All right, you guys, this is the angle we're working with. I know there's mirrors here. It's just gonna have to work because I need both of these to see both sides of the back of my head. And we have a mirror behind me, but it is crucial I get every piece of dark hair, and I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to overlap. It's just very important that I have good angles so I can see what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and get started. I have the lightener here mixed up. I did a lot of lightener. I literally filled the bowl up because, well, I have 13 months of regrowth. So we have that, and then I have two different brushes. I have like a really large, fatter one for all of this over here, and then I just have a small, more precise one for when I go back through and do my roots. So I have two different brushes we're going to be using. I got my gloves here. I'm going to go ahead and put those on, and I'll go over the sectioning with you guys of how I'm planning on applying the lightener. So obviously I went ahead and sectioned out this little front part that has the money pieces in it. We're going to save that for last, like I said. So I have that sectioned off. We're just going to forget about it for now. I went ahead and sectioned off on each side of my ear, so we have two front sections right here, and then I'll spin around and show you the back. So I just split the back right in the middle so I can focus on the bottom section of my hair, and then we'll go ahead and do this top section. So let me give you a little spin around here right at the ear, and then you guys can see the back right here. I have just sectioned it off into two sections. I have this lower half that we're going to start with, and then I just sectioned off the crown so that way we can do that after we get done with this. I just don't want to overlap. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm very excited about it. I am ready for a change. So let's go ahead and get into it, I guess. Shall we?
Alright, so here I am just applying it all over to the back of my head. I just want to give you guys some like tips or just some things looking back on it now I wish I would have done differently. So I did not put a foil on the back of my neck, and I think I got blisters on the back of my neck from this piece of hair laying on my neck the whole hour and a half I was doing this. Like halfway through applying, I started realizing my neck was hurting and I felt like I was getting a chemical burn. So I decided to lay a piece of foil there, but the foil broke and it wound up laying back on my neck. So definitely would wrap like a towel or just put like maybe saran wrap around my neck like a scarf or something, because the back of my neck hurt for like 3 days after doing this. Another thing I wish I would have done is put Olaplex on my ends and put oil all over my hair. When I used to touch up my roots every couple months, I used to completely drench my hair in oil, literally any type of oil, argan oil or coconut oil, just something to help protect the hair in case the bleach overlaps. And for some reason, I just didn't put oil all over my hair, and I didn't put Olaplex on the parts of my hair that were already blonde. And I really wish I would have done that. I think it would have prevented a lot of damage and breakage from overlapping the bleach on previously blonde sections. I think it had been such a long time since I had bleached my roots that I kind of forgot what I was doing in a sense. You know, I just haven't done this in 13 months. So to just jump right in and start doing something you haven't done in a while, all that muscle memory and stuff I had learned, I completely forgot how to do. So those are things that just like slipped my mind that I wish I would have done. Another thing I would change is I wouldn't have put the bleach so close to my scalp. I should have left like 1/2 inch to 1 inch of regrowth at my scalp, but it's really hard to do this on yourself. So overall, I think I did a good job, but I wish I would have left a little bit more regrowth at the top and then went back through and touched that up later on. At the end, you'll see I did have a little bit of banding, and I think applying the lightener on my mid shaft and leaving some of the area at my root would have probably helped with the banding I had. I should have applied it just on the mid shaft and let that sit for like 30 minutes to an hour and then gone back in and done my regrowth, but I didn't, and I wound up having to bleach my hair twice. Spoiler alert, you will see that in my next video. I wound up going back in and re-bleaching areas that had banding. After your natural hair grows out a certain point, it becomes keratinized, which basically means it's harder to lift. The protein and keratin like harden a little bit more. So after your hair grows out like more than 1 inch, the hair becomes like harder and it's not as easy to lift. So when I was done bleaching my hair, I could clearly see the areas that were keratinized and were much harder. I also wonder if I had any leftover color in my hair. You guys know I dyed my hair with that chestnut copper color from ColourPop, and while it does look like it's all out of my hair, I could have had a little bit of staining, which also could have led to the reason I had banding. I'm not really sure if it was just my natural not lifting as much, or if I did have a little bit of that ColourPop color color lift on my hair. Again, I don't know if it was on there or not. I don't think there was any left, but I mean, that could be a reason why my hair wasn't lifting as well as it should have. Another thing I could have done is use 30 volume just on that mid shaft and then use a 20 volume up by my scalp. But this was really hard to do on my own, and overall I think I did a really good job. Again, just jumping into bleaching your hair after 13 months is quite a task to do on yourself. I just was not used to dyeing my whole head. Even though I have been dyeing my hair the past year, I've only had to dye like the ends of my hair. So going from only dyeing the ends of your hair to doing full color all the way up to the scalp, and then on top of that, not just color, but you're using bleach and you have to try and make sure you're doing it evenly, is quite a task to do. And I think I did a pretty good job for doing this at home on my own.
Alright, I've gotten everything applied. I'm going to let this sit, go through it, make sure I didn't miss anything, and I'll be back when we're ready to apply it on my roots. Okay, you guys, so I did not show me applying the color on my roots because it just kind of happened. So yep, went ahead and did that and then left it on an additional 10 minutes. Then I washed the bleach out using the Redken Acidic Bonding Concentrate shampoo because it has a lower pH. Obviously, I just blew my hair shaft straight out of the water, so I wanted to try and bring that pH back down, so I used that. And then I also smothered my hair in Olaplex number 2, let that sit for like 3 to 5 minutes, and here we are. I did glance at it for a minute and it kind of looks similar to like this Olaplex liquid right here. It's kind of like a goldeny yellow orange. It's a little bit more orange than I would like, but I'm not willing to re-bleach it right now. I might re-bleach it in the future. Kind of just depends because my hair is wet right now, so obviously it looks a lot darker when it's wet than when it's dry. It's also not toned. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go in with Wella T18. I have these on hand from a video I did a while ago. This is the generic version of Wella T18, and then I just have the OG Wella T18. I'm gonna try just using the OG Wella T18 because I think I have enough to do my whole head with this. And I'm going to use 20 volume. Wella T18 toner is a permanent color, so it will lift a little bit as well as depositing the toner if you use a 20 volume. If I were to use a 10 volume, it would just deposit the toner, and because I still have some of those like yellowy golden tones in my hair, I kind of want to use a 20 volume to lift my hair a tiny bit more and then tone it. So we're going to go in with the 20 volume. I'm going to use this whole bottle of Wella T18, and I'm just going to put it in this little squirt bottle and just go ham all over my head and apply it all at the same time. And then I am going to add some Olaplex into this. It is a permanent color, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of Olaplex in there. I'm gonna add 1/16. So the front part of my hair where I had that money piece is a beautiful platinum blonde, and then the problem areas are right here and right here. The back of my head I'm sure is a lot better. It still has some of those tones, but my ends are like white. So I'm hoping this helps to cancel out some of those goldeny tones. Also, my hair is wet, so yeah, it's gonna look a little bit darker than it will when it's dry, but it's a little bit darker than I would like. I would have liked all of my hair to be like this front piece right here. I should apply this with a Bowlen brush and apply it on this mid-shaft area first, and then go in and apply it on my roots, and then the last like 5 minutes apply it on my ends. But I'm kind of over it at this point, honestly. Part of me kind of feels like, okay, if it's gonna turn out bad and it's not going to tone, I can just dye my hair like a neon color, you know? Like, this hair is honestly perfect for doing rainbow color, so I can always just go straight in with the neon Lunar Tides rainbow shades if this doesn't work. Last time I grew out my hair, I think I went like 7 months or 8 months growing it out, maybe even longer. It could have been 9 months. I actually posted the process of me lightening my hair on my YouTube channel, and back then when I bleached all of that regrowth, I did 2 rounds of lightener. I did 1 round and it lifted similar to what I have now, and then I went in and I did another round, and that was a big mistake because the first round looked pretty decent. Honestly, I think it looked pretty okay, and when I went in with the second round, and just touched up those areas that were still golden, I had so much hair fall out, so much breakage. It just was not worth it. So I'm trying to learn from my past experiences. Once I rinse this out, I'm gonna use my acidic bonding concentrate to wash this out, and I'm also gonna use my spray that I have from Redken, the acidic bonding concentrate, just to like stop any of the lightener or any of this toner that might be left in my hair from continuing to process. Try and lower the pH. So you're supposed to leave this on for like 20 to 30 minutes. I honestly don't know how long I'm gonna leave it on for. I think I might just watch it and see. Oh yeah, now we're getting everything nice and coated in here. All right, I'm gonna let this process 20 minutes, wash it out, do some more Olaplex, and we're gonna hope for the best. It's not looking too good right now. I see some gold, I see some like purple. It is what it is at this point. So I'll see you guys once I rinse this out. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am back and look at my hair. I mean, when I saw this after I took the towel off my head and I saw what my hair looked like, I am impressed beyond belief. Like, I was expecting to be like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to fix this in some way. I'm gonna have to spend all day tomorrow fixing my hair, and no, it doesn't need fixed at all. Like, it is so much more even than I thought it would be. The only areas that have a little bit of gold are like right through here. I have like a little bit of gold, but it's not enough to go back in and re-bleach and fix. Like, I've only toned my hair once and it looks this even. I just want to say, I also blow dried my hair. I did not straighten it or anything. I didn't want to add any extra heat, so it does look a little poofy right now, but that's because I just blow dried it. Honestly, I'm shocked at how soft my hair still feels. Like, all of this that was new growth feels the exact same as it did before. It still feels super soft. It still blow dried really quickly. Like, up here is still so insanely healthy. I did lose a bunch of hair on my ends, like some of this area right here that had gotten overlapped. I did lose some hair there. I would say I probably lost like a handful of hair, maybe like the size of, not the size of a softball, not a golf ball, but in between those two. Like, I lost a pretty substantial mound of hair, but I can't really tell. Like, my hair looks the same. It feels the exact same as it did before. That's just what I'm most astonished by. Like, I just thought my hair would feel gummy and brittle, and it doesn't. It feels so soft and smooth. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it still has a lot of shine and bounce to it. Like, what? I did that. I really was doubting myself, and I was like, I'm never doing this again, but it turned out fine. Just so impressed with the toner and how well it worked. Like, what? I almost matched the walls behind me. That's how like light my hair is now. I'm glad I didn't use Olaplex in the bleach. I'm glad I put Olaplex in the toner. I'm glad I used my Redken acidic bonding concentrate. Oh, I used Olaplex number 2 in the shower. I used Olaplex conditioner. I think adding those steps really maintained the integrity of my hair. I'm just so excited. I mean, look at this. I knew this day was coming, so of course I got my AphoG treatment. I also got the same thing. It's just the Ion brand protein treatment. So I'll be doing one of these this weekend, and then I'll probably do another one in a month or so, just to try and maintain the health of my hair and add that protein back into my hair. So I will be doing these in the future. I'm so glad I used 20 volume and not 30 volume, because last night I lied awake and I was like, 30 volume, should I do 30 volume? I probably need 30, but I definitely did not need 30 volume. So I'm happy I decided to just go with 20 volume. The bleach was on my head for probably like an hour and a half. Honestly, it was probably on my head that long, but I think it needed to be on my head that long, and going low and slow and just waiting for it to be done processing and using a lower volume developer definitely works better than just like punching it and just going in with like 30 or 40 volume. I'm just really glad with all the decisions I made, and now I have this like really nice clean white canvas. I can't believe how well the toner took to my hair. Like, so much more even than I thought it would be. I'm gonna spin around and like show you a 360 so you can see like all angles. So here's this side. This side is my healthier side. than this side. So here's the more full side. Here's the back. There's what it looks like. Here's this side. This one is more damaged just because of previous color removers I've done over here, but I still have quite a bit of hair. I will leave a link to the bleach, the toner, all the treatments I use in the description down below in case you guys are gonna try this yourself. That is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a long-awaited video for a lot of you and for me. Don't forget to check out my Instagram. The link to that is in the description down below. I post way more of my everyday life on there. And if you followed my Instagram, you would have already seen this hair and you would have known that I already did it. So if you want more like up-to-date things, check out my Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I love you guys so much. And until next time, guys, stay weird. Bye.